Hey, good morning and welcome to Breakthrough Walls. I am Ken Walls and I'm your host, and I have a couple on today, a husband and wife team. My first time actually interviewing a husband and wife at the same time. So I'm pretty excited to see how this goes. But hey, I think from what I know about these two so far, they are a couple of real power players. I'm excited to have them on, and I'm not even going to attempt their last name. I'm going to let them say, because I am not going to be guilty of butchering their last name. But I want to welcome my new friends, Chad and Holly, to the show. Welcome, guys.
What's up, people?
Welcome.
Hey, you guys have to you have to get closer together. You're cut off in the split screen. There you go. Pretend like you like each other.
We totally love each other.
This is Friday, right? Yes. Okay.
Nice.
And it's Ogsted, by the way. It's not too bad.
Oxted?
It only took her a year to get it. No,
that's not true.
Oh, wow. Wow. So like we were introduced by a mutual friend, Megan.
Yes.
Wow.
Megan Wright.
Megan Wright. Jeez. I'm thinking of another Megan that's a client of mine. So there she is. Megan's on, actually. Hey, Megan. She's probably going to block me now. Wow, I can't believe he forgot my last name. Anyway,
for birthdays.
What's that?
You're not going to get any birthday presents or anything.
I know. So look, you guys, and we talked for a little bit the other day, and you know, I know you guys have done a lot of really cool stuff. You're in the creative space as well, and I'm pretty excited to hear your story. So let's start with where you guys were both born and raised.
So I was born in Wyandotte, Michigan, which is like a super blue collar. Like if you're making $40K a year, you're like rocking it. And that's in Michigan.
Okay.
Yep. And I was born in Fountain Valley. I'm an official Valley girl, California. But I was actually raised in Massachusetts. I went to Massachusetts when I was about 4, and then I skipped over to Ohio when I was about 16. So I kind of been a little bit of everywhere my whole life.
So where do you consider yourself from? I guess Ohio.
I'm a free spirit. I guess Ohio. Yeah. Yes.
So hey, it's a great state to be from. So you know, as you guys went through life and you know, I don't like, is Massachusetts where you went to school and all that, Holly?
Yeah. Yep, I went to school in Massachusetts.
And Chad, you went to school in Michigan?
Yeah, definitely. I didn't really leave Michigan up until, or I did the Florida trip. I think everybody in Ohio and Florida does their like once every 2-year Florida trip or every 3 years or whatever. But other than that, it was like here, and I was like almost stuck here for a while as a kid. Like I didn't realize I could until I did BMX freestyle. I competed semi-professionally, so I started traveling then and went to competitions in Chicago and Florida and all over the place. So that's when I started getting out a little bit and seeing the world a little bit. But other than that,
right. What about you, Holly?
What was it? I'm sorry. I'm like,
did you go to school in Massachusetts?
I did go to school in Massachusetts. I was a kind of a rebel kid. School wasn't really my thing. I got in trouble all the time. The principal and I were on a first name basis. I went into her office. I'm like, "Are you suspending me today?" She's like, "Get out." I'm like,
wow.
"Yeah, I was bad. I was a rebel."
Wow.
My whole life.
Yeah. Well, hey, some of the best entrepreneurs on the planet were rebels and are rebels. As you guys, like, did you go to college?
I went to college.
Did you?
I actually, you're told you have to. Yeah, I was actually on the streets very young when I moved to Ohio. School kind of stopped for me, and I ended up, me and my mom got in a thing. We're good now, by the way, but we got in a thing, and I ended up on the streets at 2:00 in the morning with 2 plastic bags. So school wasn't like a huge priority for me for a while until I knew that the only way I was going to pick myself back up was to go to college, because that's what everyone tells you to do, is go to college. So. Yeah. I went to college for e-commerce and marketing, actually, because I knew ever since the internet came out, like, I'm going to be online and I want to go travel and just live on my terms. And I always knew that's what I wanted to do. So that's what I went to college to go learn how to do.
Wow. That's pretty cool. Chad, did you go to college?
Yeah. So first day of my senior year, my dad actually passed away, and it sent me into like a kind of a tailspin, to the point where I was like, gonna graduate with a B probably in high school, and ended up like going into the rebellion mode of not going to school. I actually had co-op where you'd go work at a thing and you'd get graded for that. And about 2 weeks after, they said that, yeah, you're in for this co-op thing for this job, and you got the job. They're like, I went back in to say, hey, when do I start? And they're like, who are you? And so I was like, well, I was already approved for this program, so I guess I'm not going to go to school anymore. And so I didn't go, and I ended up not graduating and went to like summer school to actually have to graduate, which was super weird because there was like 8th graders in my summer school class of like trying to graduate high school, and a lot of drinking. Didn't get too much into the drugs, but lots of drinking. Decided that I was going to pick myself up and go to college like this, like she said, but all I did was take history and philosophy classes, and didn't really like accomplish much in college. And I decided that, well, this is a waste of time. So I'm going to get into real estate, did real estate, and that, that did all right for a little bit, but then later on, we know what happened there with the 2008 bubble.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, you guys don't look old enough to know about the 2008 bubble. So
age is a state of mind. So when you're always
I love
older, I'm older. I robbed the cradle, believe it or not. I'm the older one.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah. So
I was 82 I was born in 82, but I was 83.
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. We won't age me.
Wow.
Stick with 29.
So you guys do, I know, you do a lot with in the, and we're going to cover this, we're going to get into this, but I know you do a lot with ClickFunnels, and you've met Russell, you've been to the Funnel Hacker Lives, and so, but I kind of want to, at some point, you didn't finish college, is that right?
No, I went back to like Phoenix University like later on,
okay.
like when the whole dip happened, and I was trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my life, and what I learned really well for online college was how to copy and paste. I'm really grateful for that. And it really helps me with my business now. So that's good. But didn't graduate, didn't get a degree, didn't do anything like that.
Right.
I actually ran, I got into sales and ran sales offices for 6 years, doing door to door. I actually really enjoyed it, which was weird. I remember listening to a guy making $80,000 a month, running a couple sales offices, and I was on the way to be his manager. And I'm like, this is the pinnacle. But then he explained that he worked 60, 70 hours a week. He had to drive 20 hours to the sales office each day. And the last vacation he had was to go open up a different sales office. And I'm like, I don't want this for my life. And I don't want the grind. That's not what I want to be. And I had this, I'd already learned about internet marketing. I'd used it a couple of times, but never really like super well. And this is like 2013.
Yeah.
And like, screw it, I'm out of here. Went and like left that job and went and launched my internet business from a hotel room because they booted me out of the housing they had me in. And
Wow.
so launched my internet business from a hotel room and was able to make enough money in the first week or so to get a plane ticket back to Michigan. And it took me about 6 months to actually make any sort of real money. But I had my first 4-figure day and leveraged that into a 8,000 so month, and then 12,000, and then like multiple 6 figures. Spoke on stage for that company, and then started doing my own events, and that's
Kind of
yeah.
launched from there.
That's awesome. So what was the internet business you launched from the hotel room?
I was an affiliate marketer with Empower Network at the time. They're no longer a thing, but
That's how
Wow.
we met, though. So thank God that it existed for when it did, because that's how we met.
Oh,
And, like,
is it? So you met online?
yeah.
Yeah. Nice. That's awesome. So, and Holly, you just loved Michigan so much you had to get over there.
Yeah, you know what? When we finally started dating, I was living in Florida. Actually, I was staying on a yacht, like it was perfect. I loved it. I was actually on my way to Greece to go spend the summer in Greece and Europe.
Wow.
And some things happened, and I just took a chance, and I came up here, and I would take this guy over Greece and living on a yacht any day of the week. Preferably, we can go do that together now.
Oh, wow. That is so awesome. My wife's on here. She said everything happens as it should. That's yeah. So wow. Okay. You guys, so you met through your first online business,
Yeah.
which was affiliate marketing, and you turned that into multiple 6 figures. I love it. I love that. So what happened next after because I've been involved with some affiliate marketing deals that no longer exist. Right. So I'm a little bit older than you guys, so I've been doing it for a while, but like what happened after that?
So I guess I launched my own event and actually sold out 26 spots into a kind of small event around one of their company things. I'm like, wow, this is so awesome. I get a great turnout. I got all these cool speakers. I'm like, maybe I should sell something high ticket, like at the event. I decided sometime at the event that I was like, maybe we should sell another retreat or coaching or something. Maybe we can come up with something. And I got some of the speakers on board, and they're like, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do it. And so we sold a $10,000 package to come to the Dominican Republic and do this transformational retreat. And we got 9 deposits, and 7 people showed up. But it was the craziest, because I had one other guy that was sort of helping, and this was before Holly.
Yeah. We met in our first business, but we didn't get right together.
Yeah,
it took a couple of years before we actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. And so
Why did hold on. What took so long?
Authentically, I started dating one of his best friends at the time.
Oh, snap. Oh, the dirt is flying now.
It's getting juicy.
Yeah.
Ratings are going to go up.
I love it.
You guys aren't going to imagine what's going to happen next.
So Holly was dating one of your best friends. Are you guys still best friends? Oh my God.
It's a wild trade.
Oh, things just got real. So
It's like an end game, right? If you've seen it, or in Infinity War, where Thanos had to throw off Gamora off the cliff to get the Soul Stone.
I've not seen it. I'm sorry.
It's
I've
so
not
good.
seen it. Okay, so how did that go down? Who pursued who?
So all right, she was dating him, and he like said no, we cannot. She can't hang out with me. And you know what happens when you say no to your woman? And like, so we actually met up and just nothing.
We were really good friends.
Yeah, we were good friends online.
We just always had each other's backs. We were just really good friends.
Yeah. So, but she picks me up at the airport because I'm coming in to go to a Speaking Empire event, which I don't know if you're familiar with, but they're awesome. And so I was going to this event, and she picks me up, and we go out and we go to Mellow Mushroom and eat
at a pizza
together, and we just talked, and that was really it. And then like
no lines were crossed.
Yeah, no lines were crossed. And then and then
she said yet.
Oh, well, you want to tell them about the you like getting booted?
My journey, yeah. So so ultimately it just didn't work out between us. It was I thought everything was going well, and then it was very suddenly, me and this guy, we were partners, and we'd actually built a very successful company together, a very successful brand that done probably about $500,000 together. And he just made a decision that he was like, Nick, this isn't working. And so through Facebook Messenger, while I was out, he sent me a message that said, hey, I need you to come get your stuff. I'm done. Like, don't talk to me about it. I don't want to talk about it. It's just, I'm done. And so literally, and my dumbass didn't have all the paperwork and everything together. So I literally lost everything with a Facebook message. Within 2 minutes, my whole life was swiped away. I had no idea, like, what the hell to do. Excuse me, but I had no idea.
Wow. And you were in Florida?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I was in Florida. I had all my stuff packed in my car, and I'm literally sitting there like, I don't know what to do. Like, where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? It was one of the most powerful months I think I've ever had. I started, staying at different places as far as staying on a yacht. My friend had a yacht. She's like, why don't you stay there for a little bit till you get your groundings. I messaged him and I was like, are you still in Florida? Like, he was just the first person I thought of to message, like, are you still in Florida? He's like, no, I'm not in Florida anymore. I'm like, oh, okay. So got it. And so I ended up coming back to Ohio for a bit to be with my family and kind of get my groundings on what was next for me. I traveled a little bit. I was literally like in my car. I did very well actually that month in my business. It was probably one of the highest months that I had individually by myself.
And your business was at that point
affiliate marketing.
Okay.
In the home business type space.
So hold on. Now hold on. I want to pause for a second.
Sure.
I want to say, so the dude says we're done for whatever conglomeration of reasons. That's the way it always goes, right? And come and get your stuff. And it's like, and so you pack everything in your car. You're in Florida, and you have no clue where you're going or what to do. Were you broke, or did you have some cash in the bank?
No, I had about $100.
Oh, that's broke.
So he created a situation where he controlled all the money, and the deal was that I'll pay for all of the, like, she went on 21 cruises that year. And so they were just traveling. I'll pay for all expenses.
Taken care of.
Besides your...
I worked, and it just worked.
Yeah. And
learned a lot of lessons, by the way. So if anyone's listening to this, not the best idea, and that's okay. It happened.
Right. So here you are sitting in your car with $100, all your stuff packed into the car, and had absolutely no idea what you were gonna do.
Yeah.
And so you reach out to Chad, right? From your car.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I've been there. I know exactly what you're talking about. I've been there. So so you ended up driving, I guess, back to Ohio?
Yep. I drove back to Ohio.
To Canton.
Yep.
Yep.
I stayed with family for a bit.
Wow. And just put your head down and started working hard on your affiliate marketing business.
Oh, she was
I was
working on
working
the
hard
way.
the whole way there. I was making phone calls. I was getting my
Wow.
traffic people together, running traffic. I actually ended up doing $20,000 for my car that month.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and then like another hump came. The payment processor, because the money came so quickly, they froze all of my money. They froze all of it. I couldn't touch it. It was done.
Oh my
Like,
God.
right? I'm like, what did I do?
Wow.
Something needs to, yeah, it was something.
So
But
hold it. You made so much money so fast that they froze your money.
yep.
Who's they?
Stripe, my payment processor.
Oh, Stripe's famous for that, aren't they? Wow. So
Yep.
yeah, I try to push my clients away from Stripe if I can. But because if you're new, especially if you're a brand new business, Stripe will ding the crap out of you. But
yeah.
So they froze your money. I know how that goes for 30, 60, 90 days.
90 days.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, wow. And
Yeah.
you're still in your car?
I was staying with actually when my daughter's dad. My daughter lives with her dad, and so I was staying with them for a little bit.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't obviously it wasn't a good situation that was working out. So I was actually I went to a hotel and I was just kind of living in hotels.
Oh,
I would just go.
This is before the money got frozen.
Yeah, and when the money got frozen, I was like, shoot, I don't know what I'm gonna. That was my dad actually lives about 40 minutes away from him in Michigan.
So she said that she was going to see her dad, and she's going to stop and see me on the way.
So I'm not going to just go to Michigan to go meet this guy, especially after I just got burned. But I will go and drive and see my dad. He's the only guy I want.
That's
it's just
crap.
convenient.
Yeah. You guys are too cute. All right, so that is so funny. Holy crap. So let's just be honest. You wanted to go see Chad. Come on. Okay,
Chad.
That's
and
awesome.
I used my dad as an excuse. Sorry, Dad, if you see this.
Sorry, Dad. I love it. So, okay, so you stop, you go to Michigan, which isn't that far from Ohio, a few hours.
Yeah.
So you go to Michigan to see Dad, and you see and you run into Chad. And what happened then? Where did things go then? Because Chad, you were already you had a business that they weren't freezing your money, and right. So
my situation was I just come off of this event, but it was complete chaos. Like, I'm used to affiliate marketing where I drive traffic and I sometimes have conversations with people to give me more money. And that's really the extent of my business. And it was like the easiest thing ever. And then when I decided that wasn't really enough for me, it wasn't fulfilling it anymore, that I needed the transformation side and the mindset side, like all of that, and really wanted to go deep with people instead of kind of that surface level stuff. But I didn't know how to put on events. I didn't know how to any of that organizational stuff. That's not my skill set at all. I'm lucky to know where my birth certificate is right now.
Right.
Anyway, so getting to the Dominican and booking all this stuff, it was transformational for the people, but it was wildly chaos for me, and I'm burnt out after that. I was done, and I didn't really want to go back to the affiliate stuff, even though I was having money come in because we had a new launch and I was crushing it, blah blah. But I'm don't want to move essentially, and so she's coming to see me, and I'm like, I need a change. I need something different because I want to do this personal mindset stuff, but I don't know how to put it all together. And hey, you know how to do funnels. How can we do this stuff? And then the money started kind of coming down because I'm not out there performing. So I'm we looked at each other, and she's in a transitional period, I'm in a transitional period, and we're we should do some sort of agency because you're amazing at this funnel stuff, and I'm I can go sell stuff like crazy. So we took a course and started selling Facebook ads, like crazy. And we had like 23 people give us like money for Facebook ads, and we're like doing it. And we had really good results with a few of those clients or with a bunch of those clients. And
we just rolled with it.
Yeah, we rolled with it.
Honestly, that weekend when I went up to go see Dad, like, we became inseparable.
Yeah.
Like, we really did. It was just like, this is wow. It was incredible. It was not what either one of us were expecting. I think we both tried to like push each other away almost a little bit. He was like, I'm not in a time in my life to be able to get, I want to go be successful before I worry about a relationship or something. And I'm thinking like, I just got burned. I don't want this. Are you kidding me? And so we almost like, we attempted to push each other away, but I that's not what the universe wanted. And so we finally stopped fighting it, and it's been the best. It's truly like everything that we just have such a good harmony together. Where his organization is lacking, I'm very organized, and I'm a very like I'm a like, let's get things done. I've run operations in multiple companies before. Like I know how all of this works. Let's do it, and it's worked out. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I love our story. Yeah.
Ken, I think you're muted.
Not sure. All I can hear is you saying, wow.
Oh, can you hear me?
There we go. Yep,
Sorry
totally.
about that. Wow, I hit the button, I guess, accidentally. So that's incredible. Your story is absolutely incredible. I don't even know what to ask next. Like, it's insane. So you ended up, now you left your stuff that was in your car in Ohio, and right? Or did you like?
No,
were you really optimistic? Like, I'm taking all my stuff. He's.
I didn't have anywhere to put my stuff. Everything I owned was in my car.
Wow.
That was all I had, and I had nowhere to put it. So I back seat and my trunk like full. I had like a 2016 Ford, hatchback. It was nice. Could fit a lot of stuff in there. So I had my drawers, literally like the 3 plastic drawers sticking into the hatchback. I could just go out into my trunk, like lift my drawers, get my clothes in there. It was all organized, and it became my little, I had all my stuff right there.
That's insane. So, and what year was this that you guys connected?
That was 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. So, geez, just 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And you're married now.
Yep. Married a year later. It'll be our year anniversary. Today's the 3rd? 3 days will be our year anniversary.
We tried for May the 4th.
That would have been awesome, but that's okay.
Like, May the 4th be with you.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
We're nerds.
Little nerds.
But do you have to wait like 48 hours for the marriage license or something? Crap. But anyway, so it ended up on the 6th.
You should have flown to Vegas. That like it's like right now.
Now, yeah.
We didn't think that through.
That could have been, but that's okay. No regrets.
No,
Everything
I
worked out.
think you were having seizures at the time. It probably wouldn't have been the best.
Yeah,
that's a whole different. We'll get there.
That's what we could.
We got time.
Yeah.
What? Say that again.
So what happened? We're doing really well. We got our agency. We're getting clients. We're getting really big
then
clients.
We started selling funnels and like full done for you systems for like $10,000-$20,000.
Yeah.
Big system, because she'd been working for a guy that does 8 figures, and he's on his way to 9 and all this stuff, and she put together courses and funnels and was doing all this stuff. So she had all these skill sets, and I'm like, we're kind of wasting your skills on just doing Facebook ads. I'm like, we should move into this like bigger stuff. And so I started selling big ass funnels, and
I started building them.
Yeah, and so we were just crushing it with funnels, and so then we moved back down to Florida, and we do the resort hopping, resort to resort, and like on the beach, and it was gorgeous. And I just remember like listening to the waves every night, and it was like our dream. I remember there was a point in time where we moved into our first condo, and we were listening to Les Brown, and he was talking about how he was living under his desk in the Ogstadt building, which is in Detroit here. Mm-hmm. And he's talking about like, I just knew that it wasn't going to always be this way.
Right.
And I'm like, tears. Like I'm listening. I'm like, this is like that transition of like all the struggle, and like we finally hit that like amazing point in our life where things are just like we're crushing it.
Yeah.
That's
And it was amazing. And what ended up happening is my outsourcing and leadership skills got really stretched. Where I'm sure everyone, as you start scaling, you have to start letting go of some of the things that you're used to always doing. And that was a thing
Yep.
that I had a real problem with authentically. It was a thing for me. And so I felt, I do the copy, I literally put all of these systems together, like just me. And so as we're getting out, pile after pile, we're starting to, our dream life is starting to kind of, everything around us looks like it should be amazing, but inside I'm like, I just created a job for myself and this sucks.
Yeah.
And I started becoming like super miserable, super overwhelmed, very overworked. I had all of this stuff on my plate. And the thing with done for you type stuff is that it almost like transfers the responsibility onto you rather than the person taking responsibility for their own business.
Right.
And so I had like the whole world felt like it was on my shoulders, and I had so much responsibility to get all of these people results, and I cracked. I literally, I found my breaking point, and I started manifesting out into seizures. I never had seizures before in my life.
What?
I started getting seizures.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what happened. Like I remember the first time it happened, she's like leaned against a wall and just kind of collapsed and started like flopping around like I call it like mini T-Rex punches. Like
It's not funny, but it's okay. We can laugh about it now.
Wow.
Yeah,
Mini T-Rex punches. Jeez.
but
Wow.
it's terrible and it was super scary. And I'm like calling 911, and 911's like teaching me how to do like mouth to mouth and like chest like things, because they're like tell me how her breathing is, and they're like that's too shallow, like you need to like give her mouth to mouth. And I'm like, all right, let's do this. And so they're walking me through mouth to mouth, and like I'm doing the chest thing and like mouth to mouth. Luckily, it's gotten really good at it.
Chad has saved my life multiple times, literally.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I know, man.
And this is okay. Wow. So, and you guys are still in Florida at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were still in Florida.
And
at that point.
Resort hopping.
Yes.
So, wow. Okay. So what happened after that? Like, and by the way, we're in the creative space too. Can 1000% relate to the done for you stuff. Like, I get it. Like, it's a lot of pressure. A lot.
Yeah. Well, what I realize is what people ultimately want that buy done for you is they want to take the responsibility off themselves and then just like hand it off to you, and they have no responsibility, no like anything. And it's like and what I really realized is like, and then I kind of had this like realization this morning, is like if they're not willing to like really be involved in the process and like take your coaching on like around what you're doing, it's like you're not really
serving them.
You're not serving them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we had that realization. We started moving over into course creation and showing people how to do this stuff instead of us doing all of it for them.
Well, the really smart thing we did was, instead of like going home and getting like a foundation and like really like we were like, oh, let's just keep going, but we'll get this under control. Don't worry, we'll figure it out. And so we decided to stay like resort hopping and try to combat seizures and run a business all at the same time.
I'm pretty impressed. I did it fairly well. I gotta say, I'm gonna like pat my shoulder here because we did it, and it was cool. And then it came to a point where, after funnel hacking and after a few of our events that we went to, we looked at each other and I'm like, I need some sturdy foundations so I can get better, like whatever it's gonna take. So we ended up coming back to Michigan at that point, and so we've been with family, and we're here. He went off. It was his birthday. It was about a year, little over a year. Yeah, about a year or so ago. He went out for his birthday, and I'm at home doing my thing, and then all of a sudden I totally blacked out. I had gone into a static seizure that lasted probably 30 or 40 minutes. He came from his birthday, and I'm in a seizure. I'm in a seizure, and he's trying to get me out of it. And when I woke up,
like dumping CBD in her mouth and
Wow.
giving her,
doozy.
trying to give her mouth to mouth, and but she's like going into the seizure, and like trying to give mouth to mouth when it's still happening is really challenging, and without getting headbutted.
Sorry, I'm not. I'm like the way you're putting it. So wow.
So right, that's how we handle this kind of stuff, is with humor, because it's,
Right.
what else are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's called
Thanks a
deflecting.
Yeah. So when I ended up coming out of it and I looked at him, I literally had no idea who he was.
Oh my gosh.
No clue who he was. I had no clue where I was. I started flipping out, like, what is going on? I had ended up having brain trauma to the pons region of my brain and my frontal lobe of my brain.
Oh my
Like, I
god.
literally burnt myself out. Like, I'm a recovering overachiever, I like to call myself now, where I used to like to take on the world and do it all. And the hustle, I like to say the hustle almost killed me, pretty much, is what happened. And so that was a whole thing in itself. I didn't know who my family was. I didn't remember that I had kids. He had to tell me about my kids. I had to have that conversation.
How long did this last?
The seizure itself?
No. The forgetting, was it like an hour or days or weeks or months or what?
The craziest thing, right? So the first time it happened, it took me maybe like a week. I'm like filling her in. We're like watching
A week?
Even longer, to be honest.
Oh,
so
no,
I started going through like my Facebook wall, looking at all my pictures. We actually put a post out telling people what happened, and so he asked if you could just I don't know, they all ran together. I started just having I had another seizure in about a week or so. It happened again. It kept on happening, where I felt like I had to restart. You ever see that 50 First Dates where every day she restarts?
Oh my god.
So that's kind of what I was experiencing, and it's actually the best thing that ever happened. Yeah, we watched that movie. We watched Finding Dory, because why not?
It's Finding Nemo, but see?
Dory.
Dory
Finding
is the
Dory
new
is
one.
the new one, or something like that.
She said, just keep swimming.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right. And so we took
did.
the idea of the 50 First Dates, where she has a journal that she writes, so when she wakes up, then this is what it is. But we put it all into a Trello board. So I don't know if you're familiar with Trello. So I have a Trello board set up for what I'm supposed to do in the morning, like who my kids are, what their favorite colors were, their birthdays. So I remembered all of my family stuff. And I just started making systems, so when it happened, I could just go in and kind of be reminded of everything that was happening. Eventually, I went into functional medicine. I became very, very obsessed with how the brain worked, why this was happening. I'm very big into holistic healing, and I knew to go to a doctor, just get a bunch of medicine all it was going to do is cover up the problem.
Right.
So we went into a big mission of learning how the brain works and rehabilitating me and myself. And as we started going into the functional medicine and learning about brain training and brain therapy and brain balancing, my brain started healing. Now, admittedly, it's been quite some time that it's taken for me to heal from this. And what started happening is when my memories started coming back, they started flooding. And I would literally, all of a sudden, I'd maybe be making a cup of coffee, and I would have this memory flood back from when I was 3 years old. Just there it was. And this was stuff I'm pretty sure they were so suppressed that
gosh.
Yeah, so real bad things happened to me when I was a kid that I had suppressed. And so all of these memories started flooding to me, and that I started getting PTSD because it was so much that was coming at me once. So that was a whole new game that I got to work through. And it's been, honestly, it sounds funny, but I think it was the most powerful and the best thing that has ever happened.
It sounds funny. Yeah, because
well, it is. Because of that, we got super focused. learning our business, I literally had to relearn everything. So I was going through all of the stuff I've ever done, all the stuff I've ever done for clients, like everything. I'm learning all of this stuff again, and I'm seeing patterns, like just really clear. Like I think because I had no limiting beliefs attached to me, because I didn't remember anything, right? So it was a great experience to just go. I was super powerful, I was super powerful.
I got it. I hang on, Chad. I'm gonna let you speak. Hold that thought. This is absolutely unbelievable. Like what you're saying, because I want to make a point. Like you just said, you didn't have any limiting beliefs. Like those are learned behaviors.
Yeah.
Those are all learned. Our limiting belief systems are learned, and people need to learn how to let go of that stuff.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Chad, what were you going to say?
So I had her listen to Tony Robbins. So we're trying to put new stuff in there. And she's like, yeah, this is good, but it's really for people that they have all this stuff in their way. Like, I don't really have any of this stuff. Like,
wow.
I'm like, weird. Okay.
Well,
you're like, well, the hell with Tony Robbins. What's next?
Right. Well, actually, what I ended up doing is that I was going through all of my pictures and the clients and everything, and I started seeing these patterns. I ended up writing a book that week of the patterns that I saw, of what was working, what wasn't working, and really I saw the code, right? And this is something that we talk about all the time to this day, is our methodology was birthed because of all of this. So it was super powerful. I saw what really attracts clients to us. What did we do that really attracted clients? What did we do that this didn't work? This is done. No attachments. We're done with this. And we really got a very clear methodology and pattern of what created all of our success.
But
and I think
wait. I want to ask you this though, because Chad didn't have seizures and brain damage and all of that stuff. He didn't have the memory loss. He still had his installed limiting belief system, right, from other people. How did you deal with that? Because here you are, free. You're like, I'm free. We can do anything. And Chad's like, yeah, but wait, hold on. When we were in Florida, things went really bad and sideways. And you're like, I don't even remember. So let's just keep going. And Chad's like, yeah, but you don't understand. Right? So how did that play out?
So I did a education thing called Landmark, and it really allows us to get complete on stuff in our past and let go of limiting stuff. Obviously not to the extent of where she was.
Right.
She nothing, no thing. But what it allowed me to do is see where things were incomplete, and I could go get those complete. So then I could move. So there's something called no, just being able to move forward without anything holding you back. Those baggages, and when you do see things that are popping up, we're able to we've also used some other platforms. It's called neuro emotional technique to allow us to get rid of, because we hold emotional baggage in our body. And there's pains and different things that you have, your back pain, a lot of that, you have leg pain, you have whatever. It could be an emotion that's actually stuck in that part of your body.
Yep.
And so that allows you to actually release those things out of your body. We use it with our clients all the time. It's amazing. And so between those two modalities, and it's pretty much those two.
I think it gave him a great experience to be able to let go of all that stuff. And I was super fortunate. My standard is in a partner was gotta be committed to yourself and growth, because I am all about growth and expansion. Mm-hmm. And if you're not, it just is not going to work.
Right.
So sorry. So I'm really fortunate that I'm with someone who has that same core value of expansion and growth, that he was able to go through his stuff, that if something came up and it was stopping him for some reason, we could go through it and just get that shit out of the way.
So right. So but you here you were and were you like, what's the word? Were you cognitively aware? Were you aware that you didn't have these limiting beliefs?
I wasn't sure what I didn't. So this is gonna sound really weird, but whatever. To be honest, when I woke up and when I was like navigating through, I literally for a while thought I was like an alien that came here to help raise the vibration of human evolution and help people.
Wow.
That was the only thing that I knew. I didn't know anything else, but I was here to help people. And that's
that
all
is so powerful. That is so powerful. So you were not even aware that you didn't have limiting beliefs because you couldn't remember ever having them. So
there was a point in time that it was so crazy because so she'd put these systems in her life together to like, okay, what do we do in the morning? What do we do in the afternoon?
Wow.
Well, she had no systems for like nighttime.
Nighttime's chill, right? So I'm like, oh, what am I supposed to be doing? I literally sat at a wall. Sorry to interrupt you, but I sat on like looking at a wall crying because I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Jeez, that is so intense. Holy crap.
Yeah.
So, and Chad, Chad, I can just tell, man, I don't know you that well, but like, dude, you had to be the guy that's like trying to be the voice of logic. like, you know, at some point I would imagine.
I don't know. Logic was the thing because nothing that she was saying was making any sense to me.
Wow.
So I just
There was no logic.
there was no logic.
Wow.
And so I just had to go with and try to put my point of influence into whatever we were doing. So we had launched a coaching program before she lost all of her memories, and so this is the one interesting thing is we're like coaching our clients and she doesn't remember who they are.
Oh my God.
And
that's not good. That's not good.
But this is the one thing and she didn't have memories. She had like her short time, couldn't recall things from a minute ago from memory. But what she could do is speak life into people and really lift them up. And that was something that she had innately. And it was all flow. All she could do was flow.
To a sentence, because I had frontal lobe damage, and that's where all of your communication is in your frontal lobe. So for me to speak a sentence was very difficult for me to do, and to try to have a clear thought. But if I if I just close my eyes and like just complete subconscious flow, I couldn't tell you. I don't even know if it was necessarily me. I still that's just something that I do is speak life into people. Again, I'm here for human evolution. That's my purpose in this world. It's very clear to me. And that's just, if I closed my eyes and I just flowed and I didn't try to think about it or stop it, it worked. As soon as I tried to like make sense of anything and like get my notes together or try to write a script or bullet point anything, it did not, I couldn't.
So there was a point in time, so after her first piece, this happened 3 times. She memory wiped 3 times.
Jeez.
After she came out the first one, she's like, well, what were we doing? And I'm like, actually here. So this is what I did.
This is what was birthed from this.
Well, actually, this came before it.
Oh, did I thought we made this before.
On our cruise. So we created power statements. And this is actually from a webinar. And then we created our manifesto for our vision for the world. And so I gave her these power statements, and I'll read them. So our people are the quantumpreneurs. I'm a quantumpreneur because I want to, your ultimate goal. I know I can do this because I'm empowered, impact-driven, and unstoppable. I can do anything I set my mind to, and I'm confident. So I gave her these power statements. I'm like, this is what we do.
Wow.
This is who you are.
Yep.
And I had to I had to bring her from nothing. Like I created this in her.
I gotta give Chad, Chad's incredible what he did for me, because it was the perfect time for me. I didn't have anything in my space. So what do you put there? Things that are going to empower you. And so I call it my champion training. That's what every morning, first thing before I got out of bed, I read all of these of who I am and what I'm about. And then we had my whole morning set up. Like, okay, now I still to this day do brain training every morning. It's part of my thing to exercise and work my brain to be able to heal. I think it's a super powerful thing we went through, and it allowed us to really, ultimately, I think it's helped our clients.
Yeah.
And at first it was like, I even thought, like, who would want to hire me? Like, me going through all of this, nobody wants to hire someone who's got brain trauma and, lost all their stuff. No one wants to work with that. And that was the one limiting belief that I started to get back. Like, the first thing that came back was like, no one's going to want to work with me after I just went through all of this. I can hardly have a sentence, never mind, create all of this stuff. But, over time, you just keep going and you keep showing up and you show people progression and that you're not the person that's going to give up no matter, there's nothing, truly unstoppable. There is nothing that will ever hold us down from what our mission is in this world to be able to help people. Nothing. And I believe that we've been able to show that in a really powerful way now. So, back on.
You just showed it today for sure. Wow. Chad, you need to move to your right a little. There you go. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I'd like to say that I go into every interview without expectations, but I don't. We all have expectations, right? And you have blown my mind. And my wife is on here. I can tell she's in the other room. I heard her shout out, "There's a Dory." I'm like, I know there's a Dory. I've seen Finding Nemo. My gosh, many times. So, you guys are incredible. We are at the end of the hour pretty much. I mean, I know you have another podcast to get to. Yeah. I didn't even get to all of my questions, but I am going to say this. I ask, because I had my car repossessed in front of a bunch of employees one time. And that was a cool day, not when the dude comes in and says, "Hey boss, there's some dude looking in the windows of your SUV." And I'm like, "Well, tell him to get the hell out of here." And he's like, "Yeah, he's got it blocked with a tow truck." I'm like, "Well, then definitely tell him to get the," but that, so we all the people that say, "Oh, life is perfect. It's always been perfect." And they'll lie to you about other things as well. Life is not perfect. And in my book, I talk about this a lot. I'm a recovered alcoholic and, was 17 years sober almost and all this. And I say in my book, pain is the predecessor of all wisdom. And I find that most people that have been through the crap you guys have been through typically have the most wisdom, right? Typically, they're the ones that go that you can ask about just about anything and they have some sort of a solution. So my question, I have two questions I want to finish with. Number one, as quickly as possible, what do you think the number one thing is that holds people back in life from success, financial success, and every other form of success?
I think we have the same answer.
The stories that they've created about whatever it is. Mm-hmm. They've created some sort of story and they're living in that story is actually real.
Love that. I love that. I've got a book sitting here on my desk from, I'm going to hold it up here. Let me get the camera back on both of us. I have a book sitting here. I saw Ed Milet interview this guy, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Let me move.
I love Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Oh my God. I heard him say 50% of the stories that we're telling ourselves about the past are made up. Made up. It's not even real. You're embellishing the crap out of your past, man. Let it go, right?
A lot of times we write these stories when we're 4 years old. And so a 4-year-old is running our life.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And he says that, 90% of the thoughts that we have, of the 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day that we have, 90% of them are the same thoughts we had yesterday. And it's Well, you ask anybody, hey, do you feel like you're living in the past? And everybody 100% will unequivocally say, no, I don't live in the past. The past is the past. But dude, you are. Like, you're literally you're having the same thoughts every single day. And so I love what you guys are doing. I am all about quantum physics and quantum mechanics. I love what you're doing. It's what I live my life for as well. See, the universe brought us together for a reason. So my next question is, and last question is, well, I'm going to ask how people follow you, but that's coming. But this question is this. Somebody calls you and they say, look, I am at the end of my rope. I'm completely out of money. I can't feed my kids. I'm being evicted. My electric is going to be shut off tomorrow. My car was repossessed last week. I don't know what to do. Help me. Please just tell me what I need to do. What do you say to that person in that moment to help them? As you already know, it's up here. What do you say to help them in that moment?
I
did
the last one.
Close your eyes and let it flow.
Close your eyes and let it flow. That's hard to do because whoever that person is, I can just kind of pick up on their energy and whatever it is that they need in that moment. But ultimately, I would say that you have every single thing inside of you, that you are capable of doing anything that you want to do. So what do you want to do? And let's start there. Because whatever you want to do, that's probably your mission and your calling, and you just don't know how to get there. But all you need to do is that clarity of what you actually want, and then you can build anything from there.
Love it. Define your purpose.
Yeah.
Like,
I
really
think
define it.
The best place to be at, because sometimes, not sometimes, our rock bottom, when we have nothing, the house is gone, the car is gone, everything is gone. It's the most powerful place that you could ever be, because anything is possible from there. There's only one way.
Man, that is so true. That is 1,000% true.
Yeah.
You two are absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And thank you. I know that there was some scheduling confusion, so thank you for scrambling and getting on here. And man, this has been awesome. So how would anyone, my wife's on here, love this interview. She's going off the chains over here with her comments. So what are how can everybody follow you that doesn't know who you are?
Yeah, so Chad and Chad
and Holly.
Ogsted, Ockstaddt. You can grab our book.
I think that's probably the best way. If you go grab our book at chadandholly.com, that'll kind of bring you through the system. Then you'll end up being able to connect with both of us.
Get our
there.
group.
Yeah, and that is the book that I wrote.
While I
was out figuring out all the patterns and the code and everything. That was the book that I wrote that week. So
that's so like I feel like I'm in the Matrix right now. I'm not gonna lie. Wow.
You are.
Hey, I know we all are. So, and on social media they can follow you. You have a fan page, Chad and Holly fan page.
Chad and Holly Ogsted.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
It's Holly and Chad.
Holly and Chad.
Yeah,
Holly and Chad. Oh, yeah, Holly and Chad.
The fan page got Holly and Chad. I'm not sure how that one got flipped, but
because it used to be my fan page, and I brought you on.
There you go. Thanks.
I love it. I love it. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to be on here. I'm looking forward to maybe doing some collaborating with you guys. You're amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks you all for watching. Thank you to everyone who shared this out. You get extra points from the universe for that. So thank you. And thank both of you for being on here. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
All right. Stay on Skype. I'm gonna end the Facebook Live. Thank you guys. Have a great day.